A closer look at Cherry Bomb is brought to you by Skillshare. Everyone to click the link below gets 2 months of free tutorials on almost any creative, business, or tech subject you can think of. Cherry Bomb is Tyler, the Creator's fourth studio record. Released in 2015, it was abrasive, experimental, and a new direction for the rapper. And critics hated it.
There are some instrumentals here that are some of the worst that have ever been on a Tyler, the Creator album. So while I don't really care for this LP, I do have to give it to Tyler for being one of the few artists out there bold enough to simultaneously disappoint and impress so consistently. I'm feeling a strong 3 to a light 4 on this album. Transition.
It was too much of this and not enough of that. But no matter what they could come up with to complain about, it was obvious to most of us that Tyler had put a ton of thought into Cherry Bomb. It just didn't necessarily end up sounding how we expected it to. The album opens with a hard-hitting guitar riff heavily inspired by the rock-rap production that dominated the 2000s. Deathcamp especially shares characteristics with Lap Dance, a song by one of Tyler's biggest inspirations as a producer, Pharrell Williams, and his various musical endeavors including N.E.R.D. and the Neptunes. Tyler even rapped about this on Deathcamp, talking about how he draws more inspiration from Pharrell's music than classic hip-hop albums like Illmatic. He expanded on this idea, dissing his rivals for buying their style while Tyler made his from scratch. And that's a major theme on the album in general. Tyler very much decided to go his own way instead of making his music sound like what other people were doing at the time. And Deathcamp achieved its early 2000s Pharrell Williams-inspired sound by sampling its guitar riffs from a 1971 funk and soul hit called Why Can't There Be Love by D. Edwards. However, in repurposing this guitar riff, Tyler made it sound much more menacing than the original song. The track sets the tone for Cherry Bomb to be a dark, experimental album, full of abrasive instrumentals and lyrics. But as we would quickly find out, the album instead explores many different sounds. From pompous aggression in the same vein as Kanye's Yeezus, to rough, abrasive instrumentals inspired by Death Grips, to the dreamy rhythm and blues of Stevie Wonder. In short, Cherry Bomb's initial poor reception as an aimless mess of a record would later give way to a new, more popular interpretation. One that understands the importance of appreciating each and every one of Tyler's unique ideas as they come.
Hey kids! Yeah! How you feeling? Fine! You feel all right? Yeah!
The album's next track, Buffalo, is significantly less intense than Deathcamp. It opens with a sample from Bunny Sigler's 1974 funk hit Shake Your Booty, a track that was also sampled by Kanye West on the Pusha T song Numbers on the Boards. This song dropped in 2013, just 2 years before Cherry Bomb. While both of the songs have starkly different atmospheres, their use of the sample was almost exactly the same.
Yeah! How you feeling? Fine! You feel all right? You feel all right?
God, goodness gracious, I can't wait to see them.
Lyrically, Buffalo is Tyler's declaration that he's going to go his own way as an artist rather than follow trends or try to appeal to as many people as possible. The interlude from Shane Powers talks about how Tyler has to be mindful of what he says to his audience, because there are millions of kids listening to his music. The conclusion that Tyler comes to is that he needs to lead by example rather than live in the shadow of others. And that's what Tyler does for the rest of the record. Cherry Bomb is his first project that features no contributions from any other Odd Future members. It's his only record to have the instrumentals released alongside the final versions of the songs. He took more inspiration from 1970s R&B and less inspiration from contemporary hip-hop than ever before. And while he did use samples liberally, at the same time a lot of the album's most recognizable melodies and instrumentation were completely original. One of the record's most recognizable instrumentals, Two-Seater, borrows nothing more than a basic drum beat and a subdued bass line from the 1968 psychedelic classic Get Out of My Life Woman by Iron Butterfly. The rest of the song, including its beautiful orchestral passages and synth motifs, are all Tyler's own creation. But overall, despite Cherry Bomb's soulful motifs, interesting composition, and the sense that in many ways he finally figured out how to realize his potential, Cherry Bomb was hailed as a mess. There were a few different factors. First of all, the mixing. When it's good, it's great, but the rest of the time, well, for almost half the album you can barely hear Tyler rapping above distorted, overwhelming instrumentals. It was an artistic choice that, according to Tyler, put his career on the line.
I just knew if this album wasn't good, I would be fucked. That's how I felt, and some people would disagree, but I'm like, man, I'm nothing right now.
You felt that way coming off Cherry Bomb?
Yeah, because everyone hated it, except for like real music lover who cares about drums. Like I opened a rap album with a rock song.
Yeah.
Most niggas is like, ugh, and then Buffalo.
But in the end, Cherry Bomb is more than just audio chaos. It's more than a misstep in Tyler's career, because the very basis of Tyler's career is the idea that creativity itself is valuable for its own sake, not just for the purpose of fitting into some predetermined mold on how an album should sound or how a rapper should act. Tyler makes music to explore himself and the world around him, and with that being said, Cherry Bomb may very well be his most inconsistent, abrasive, and confusing record. But when you take a closer look, you'll see that each and every moment on the album contains a unique, interesting musical idea. Sure, it didn't make for an iconic record like the summery beauty of Flower Boy or Igor's experimental neo-soul. Cherry Bomb's legacy is as an album whose brilliance is hidden beneath a layer of controversy. Controversy from critics, listeners, and musicians. Even Tyler himself is openly torn about the album's legacy. In my opinion, Cherry Bomb is the quintessential musician's record. Sure, it may be a mess, but if you know where to look, you'll quickly find yourself entranced by Tyler's musical creativity that truly knows no bounds. While we wait to hear what Tyler does next, I recommend picking up a few new skills on Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 classes in design, music production, and more. You can learn skills that will improve your opportunities and help you do the work you love. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving in 2019. And I personally want to recommend Young Guru's Learn How to Mix Music class, though they have classes for almost every aspect of hip-hop production and writing. And best of all, it's super affordable. Skillshare's premium membership gives you unlimited access to classes for under $10 a month if you sign up for an annual membership. So join the millions of Skillshare students today with a special offer that's just for my viewers. Everyone to click the link in the description will get 2 months of unlimited access for free.